Now, welcome back. Today marks 23 years since the deadly September 11th terrorist attacks on our country. Taking a live look right now at the 9/11 Memorial, the pool in New York City at Ground Zero where the Twin Towers once stood. A ceremony is happening there later this morning at 8:46, the moment the first plane struck the North Tower. A ceremony will also be happening in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, where Flight 93 crashed.
Here in the DMV, we remember those lives lost at the Pentagon that day when a plane was hijacked and crashed into the western side of the building, killing 189 people.
Yeah, Jacqueline Quinn joins us now. She spoke with a survivor all these years later. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. That's right. And today is a day of remembrance. And in about 30 minutes, you're going to see a flag like this unfurl down the side of the Pentagon. This is image from last year. But, you know, some of the people who survived this, they've retired and they've moved on. They've left to find other jobs or, again, because of retirement. But one survivor, a retired Army Lieutenant Colonel Rob Grunewall, well, he tells me as time moves on, people like him are working to make sure some never forget, but also he's there to bridge young generations to this event, this part of history that they weren't around for, so they can learn some of those lessons. And one of those lessons is actually sharing kindness, especially as they found that in the aftermath. Grunewall knew 31 people who died that day, and he now gives tours at the Pentagon Memorial and works to pay it forward on 9/11. That's a group he's with, Pay It Forward 9/11, to do good deeds, to honor these victims. And he says it's to make sure all the victims are never forgotten and something hopeful comes out of their memory.
Hit the building to my right rear, a floor underneath about 75 feet. But the explosion that enveloped our conference room came from our left front because the flames went up between the walls and blew out the ceiling. And then the ceiling collapsed and the room instantaneously went black as we crawled. And we proceeded to crawl in a direction that we just hoped was safe. And it was hot. The fire eventually was burning over at 1,600 degrees Fahrenheit.
And together, he tells me, this group he was with, they were fortunate enough to make it out. That's why he thinks so much about the victims, particularly those colleagues who never made it back home. So this is also why he feels it's so important to spread the truth of his experience. And he hopes people will remember the good that came out in the aftermath, where people set aside differences and focused on helping each other. Back to you guys.
All right, Jacqueline Quinn reporting there.